What's going on, guys? It's Mike Seuss, and I'm back with another one. So, if you guys seen my last video with the 40 reasons why I bought this Tesla, you know how excited I was when I first got the car after 12 days of owning it. I'll let you guys know everything about the car, what I found out when I first had it for 12 days. It's now been 3 whole months, and it's time to tell you guys my thoughts about the car today. So, I just want you guys to brace yourself because I'm going to be completely honest and tell you the truth about what I've experienced so far. And I'm not going to lie, you might not like what I'm going to say. So guys, after 30 days of owning the car, I've got to know it very well. We've been everywhere together. I've been to New York, I've been to Florida on road trips, and I just learned everything about the car. I know I was excited about the car when I first got it, but I have to update you guys, and I'm gonna be honest with you, you might not expect what I'm gonna say. So let me just figure out how I'm gonna tell you guys this, but it's kind of hard to say knowing that I was so excited when I first got the car, but I absolutely love the car. That's it. I love it. I don't regret anything about the car. I love all the features, everything that I originally talked about in that first video. So if you haven't seen that first video, I recommend you guys go watch it to see all the features and what I was excited about so you can catch up on this video. But basically, I love everything about the car till this day after 3 months of having it, and I have 0 regrets. So guys, I'm going to review the car after 3 months. And as my last video, I'm gonna break everything up into sections, but this time I'm gonna get right to the point, and I'm gonna make it a lot easier for you guys by adding timelines to the bottom of this video. So if there's something you want to see specifically about the car, you can just click right down below to wherever you want to go. It's also in the description. Hopefully that helps you guys. By the way, I just want to also let you guys know that I've done a lot of upgrades to this car cosmetically and some mods. I did make a video on this of my 40 must-have accessories for the Tesla. So if there's anything you guys see in this video on the car that you want or want to check out, you can go to that video, and I have all the products listed in the description where you can click directly on them, go directly to where I bought them, and you can buy them yourselves. So I hope this also helps you guys out. All right, so the first thing we're gonna talk about, guys, is the looks and the quality of the car. I've talked about it before, and now I'm gonna review it. So, as you can see, it's an absolute beauty to this day. I did have it ceramic coated. It stayed looking like it's brand new. I've washed the car multiple times, and obviously, you guys can see it yourself. She looks as beautiful as ever till this day. I love the quality, I love the looks. I get a lot of attention on the road. And I also happen to look back at it every time I park it and go into the store. It's just that pretty, isn't she? As far as the quality on the car, 0 complaints. Everything has held up to this day, including the white seats on the car that are super white, but they're super easy to clean. They're still looking brand new, and I had multiple people in the car on multiple road trips, and all I done was wipe the seats down with a baby wipe. I have not cleaned the seats with any chemicals or anything like that. I just wiped them down, and they still look brand new. I've had no issues with things falling apart on the car. I've had no issues with things wearing down, turning colors, nothing like that. If you step into my car, you would think that it's just off the lot from the Tesla dealership. I don't have any cons about the car, but one thing I would like to say about the car is this car is a performance version car. So it's the more sportier, faster, more performance version of all the Tesla Model 3s. And the way it looks, it doesn't really relate to a sporty car. So that's just one thing that I wish that they added some extra things on the car to make it stand out from the regular models that show that it's a performance model. It's not really that big of a deal. It does have the nice bigger sporty wheels and the brakes and the carbon fiber rear wing, but it should look a lot more sporty in the front. So what I did was I did go ahead and add a lip on the bottom. I did the mirrors in carbon fiber, and I also put spacers on the back wheels to make them pop out more and look more aggressive. I also did some other things like mud flaps, tint the windows and stuff like that to make it look more aggressive, but I just think that it should have looked that way right from the factory. Okay, next thing I want to review very quickly is the entertainment and the features. I'm still absolutely blown away by all the features and entertainment in this car. It makes such a big difference when you don't even realize it. So say when you're supercharging your car, or my girlfriend goes into the supermarket and takes 2 hours when she says she's gonna get one thing, I can sit in my car and watch Netflix or play a quick video game, and I can pass the time much faster. It's very convenient to have this in the car rather than sitting there on your phone scrolling away, when you can actually be relaxing, watching a quick show, or browsing the internet in full screen, or even just playing some video games to pass the time. I love that it has these features, and honestly, I might not be able to do without it from now on. Now, this does run on Google Maps, but I love the way it's so easy to input an address and go straight to where I gotta go. It's so much easier and faster than using your cell phone, and much more convenient because it's right there. Literally, you can just put in any address you want and everything comes up. It tells you how many miles away it is. You can choose to go. As soon as you choose to go, the car takes you right there with no hesitation. And it also tells you how far you're gonna need to go with or without using a supercharger. If you do need a supercharger, it shows you exactly where it is and how much battery you'll have after you get there. Super convenient, and I love it. It's so much better than using your phone on Google Maps, and it's definitely something I cannot get used to if I were to have any other car. Lastly, one thing I really love about the car is the sound system. So you only get the premium sound system in the long range and the performance models, but you should definitely get it because it's one of the best sound systems that you'll ever hear in a car, guaranteed. As I explained to you guys before in my last video, I am a professional audio engineer and I know my sound. This car is great. It has 14 speakers, a huge amp, huge subwoofer, and it sounds absolutely great. There's no rattling of the bass. Everything comes through crisp and clear as if you were sitting inside of a recording studio. I've never heard anything like it in the car, and it's not something that's mentioned on Tesla's website. That's something you just have to get in your car and check it out for yourselves, and you'll be blown away. I have zero cons about the entertainment and features on this car, but one thing I do wish that the Teslas did have was Apple CarPlay. It really would be great to have this in the car so I can use my other apps such as Waze. I do own my own business and I get a lot of text messages and emails and such throughout the day, and it would be nice to have that all integrated into the system itself right on the front screen so I do not have to rely on my phone. But I understand it's a safety issue and Tesla wants you to use their map system for their autopilot and stuff like that, so I get it, but hopefully in the future it will come to the Tesla some way or another. All right, quickly, let's talk about convenience. As I said before, the best thing about having this car is not having to use gas ever again. It's so convenient. I love the fact that if I have to get up and go somewhere, I don't have to worry about if there's enough gas in the tank to get me where I gotta go. I wake up every morning with my car fully charged. And everyone wants to know how much I pay extra for the electricity when I charge my car. I charge my car almost every single day, and my electric bill has only went up about 20 bucks. So that's a huge deal versus gas. And it also cuts out the time that you have to drive to the gas station and back. Another thing that's really convenient is the supercharger station. So, as I told you guys, I've been on 2 road trips. I went to New York and I went to Florida, there and back in my car. And the superchargers are a huge deal and they're not as bad as everyone thinks. So it's super convenient. All you have to do is pull up to a supercharger station, plug your car in. Some take 15 minutes, some takes 40 minutes, depending on how many Teslas are at the station and what kind of charger you get. But the good thing about it is that all supercharger stations have something to do in the area. There is always some kind of bathroom or supermarket or gas station or somewhere where you can go eat, or in a shopping center. I've been to a supercharger at a bowling alley. It's never in the middle of nowhere and you'll never be stuck not having anything to do. And why that makes a big deal is because when you park your car, you can either sit in it, watch Netflix like I said, but you can also get out your car, stretch your legs, use the bathroom, get a bite to eat, and by the time you come back to your car, all you have to do is get up and go. So that's super convenient and I love it. Another thing that I really love is the Supercharger Miles referral program, where you're able to rack up on supercharger miles by referring other people to buy a Tesla. So for instance, right now, if you guys are looking to buy a Tesla, you can get 1,000 free supercharger miles for you, and it will give me 1,000 supercharger miles also. So why is this a big deal? Because you guys can charge your car for absolutely free for up to 1,000 miles. That means you guys can hop in your car on the weekend and take a road trip somewhere there and back and not have to pay for anything at all. The more Teslas you refer, the more miles you get. Every time it's 1,000 miles. So you can rack up and you can pretty much drive your car for free. So if you guys are interested in buying a Tesla and also racking up on 1,000 free supercharger miles, you can use my referral code right here or check it out in the description. It's a great way to support me and me to support you. So let's support each other. And lastly, for convenience, the one thing I cannot live without that I've gotten so used to is the phone key. I love being able to walk up to my car and get right in. I don't have to press any buttons. I don't have to do any push to start. All I have to do is walk up, my car unlocks, I get in, it puts all my settings to the way I want it, my chair moves up, my mirrors go back to the way they were, the AC turns on the way it was, the radio comes back on with the same song that was playing when I left the car. It just makes a huge difference and it's so convenient. I love it. I cannot go without it. So another big one that I'm gonna review is the safety on the car. Some other things that I like about safety is the autopilot features, or even not the autopilot features, just the things the car does even when it's not in autopilot. So say I'm, driving safely, paying attention, and someone were to stop short in front of me really fast where I didn't even see it coming. The car would see it before me. It sees everything before I see it, and it will make an alert sound and it will stop. It will avoid whatever's happening in the front and the back from the sides. It will try to maneuver out the way if it can safely. And it's just a really good peace of mind driving the car. There's been a few times when I was driving, even on the expressway, and a truck in front of me would drop some debris off the car that can possibly ruin the car or hit me, damage the car, and cause a bad accident. And the car has reared off to avoid whatever's going on without causing an accident on its own by hitting another car. It'll only move safely if it can to get out the way and avoid any kind of accidents. This goes for cars, things in the road, animals, whatnot. I love that feature, and I'm positive that the car has saved me a lot of times 100%. I don't know if you guys are like me, but when I have something very nice, like this bad boy right here, I like to keep it nice and protected at all times. So my previous cars, I owned a Mercedes-Benz and I owned the Alfa Romeo. I used to be scared to park these cars in parking lots because I was afraid that people would do something to the car or something would happen to the car by mistake by being too close to another car or whatnot. So when I got my Tesla, I had the same thing in mind, but I realized all the safety features that are there, it lets me not have to worry about those things at all anymore. This is because it has 7 cameras on the car and it has a good security system. So for instance, if I park my car in a parking lot and somebody is walking out in front of the car will flash its lights on that person to alert that person. If the person doesn't see that and they do come up to my car to try to do something to the car, it also alerts them that the cameras are recording them. 7 cameras are recording what's going on. So it makes it less likely for someone to try to do something to the car when they're knowing their face is right on camera and whatever they do is right on camera as well. And that's also good because when I come back to my car, it'll let me know what happened. It'll show me automatically all the videos of what happened at what times when I was away in the store or wherever I was when I had my car parked. So no longer am I afraid to park my car next to others in huge parking lots. It's totally fine. So one of the other things that I want to talk about is maintenance on the car. You guys might have heard me talk about in my last video how if something were to happen to the car, a Tesla advisor would actually come out to your house to work on the car and see if anything's wrong and what can be fixed before having to take it to Tesla themselves. And unfortunately, I did have to test this out for myself. So I'm gonna explain what happened to me. I was driving my car and I realized that on the screen there was a warning that said that the passenger airbag was not working correctly for some reason. So I went home that day, turned off the car and turned it back on to see if it was just something that would go away, and it wasn't. So I immediately just opened up my phone, went to the Tesla app, hit service, and typed in what was wrong with my car. I immediately got a prompt back to ask me my address and what time would be good the same day for a Tesla advisor to come out and check on the car at my home. So I typed in my address and I made an appointment. Not even 5 minutes later, I was contacted by a Tesla advisor to see if they can help me through the phone, through the chat in the Tesla app before they were even to come out to my house to try to fix the issue. And fortunately, they were able to fix it right over the app on the phone. So it turned out I had spilled some water in my seat and it had messed up one of the wires. The airbag was fully working the whole time. It just triggered an alert just in case on the car. So why is this a big deal, you might ask? All right, so when I had my Mercedes-Benz and Alfa Romeo, if I were to have that same issue on my car, I would have to have brought it to the dealership, which is miles away. I would have had to wait to speak to someone at the dealership, and then I would have to have them come out, look at the car, and then they would make an appointment for me to come back for them to look at the car. So not only would I have to drive there that same day, I would also have to go back again, and then I would have to have them check out the car and then work on it if they needed to. And the bad thing about that is to just check out the car to see if there even is an issue or not, you have to pay them by the hour just to check it out. And if they do find something wrong with your car, of course you have to pay for whatever the service is gonna be, but also they keep your car at the dealership for who knows how long. Tesla, I had the issue fixed right away, and if I didn't have it fixed right away, they would have came to my house the same day to try to do whatever they can to fix it that day. Now, if that's not a big deal to you guys, I don't know what else to tell you. All right, so I saved the best for last, and that is driving. This car is literally the best car that I have ever driven. I used to be in a car club, and I've driven all kinds of cars, from very luxury cars to supercars, hypercars. I've driven it all, and this car is by far the most fun and practical at the same time that I've ever driven ever in my life. Hands down, I still feel exactly the same as when I first got the car 3 months ago. It's super fast, super quick. It handles like the Porsche that I wanted to buy over this car, and it's just a great overall driving car. I cannot get sick of driving this car. Even if I have to go right down the road to the post office, I take the car with me because it's so fun to drive. Another thing that I absolutely love is the autopilot. I love autopilot. I didn't think that much about it when I first got the car, and I was kind of wary of using it, but now I completely trust it and I use it almost all the time when I can. As I said before, I've driven the car from North Carolina to New York and Florida, 2 different road trips there and back, over 2,400 miles, and I've driven the car almost 80% of the time, both of those road trips in autopilot. I definitely can't live without it, and it's one of the biggest reasons why I love this car. So when it comes to the driving review, I do just have one problem with the autopilot, and that is constantly having to grab the wheel to show that you're paying attention. I get it's a safety feature, and I agree that it should be the way it is, but the thing is, when you go higher speeds, say 80 miles per hour on the freeway, it starts to bug you a lot more than usual. So sometimes it's 10 seconds, sometimes it's 30 seconds, but when you're going around 80 miles per hour, it's every 5 seconds that you have to grab the wheel, and it kind of defeats the purpose of autopilot altogether because you're constantly grabbing the wheel. I do understand why they have this feature in place, but it would be nice to have Tesla figure something out for in the future. So you guys wanted to know how I feel after 3 months of owning this car, and hopefully I delivered for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, make sure to leave me a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you guys have any questions, you can leave it in the comments, or you can add me on my Instagram at Mike Seuss. I'm always happy to talk to you guys and help you guys out with any questions if I can about the Tesla. So I hope to see a lot of you guys on the road soon, and don't forget to use my referral codes to get those 1,000 free supercharger miles when you guys buy your Tesla. And also, don't forget guys, if you've seen anything in this video that are aftermarket accessories, you can watch my other video and get them for yourselves. That's pretty much it. I hope to talk to you guys soon. Peace out.